Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Hey everybody, this is Robert, and I need to make a video to ensure that I can help you if I stop at your location to help you replace parts or service your vehicle, something like that. Some of you know, if you really know me, you know and understand that I do not like installing substandard parts on your vehicle. It's part of the golden rule. We all have our quirks, strange things about it. One of those strange things about me is I don't want to mess up your car and have you stranded and me going on my way. So because of that, I typically will not install any substandard aftermarket parts. So here's my warning to you. If I leave a location, drive 2, 4, 6, 8 hours to your location because you sent me a request that you need help and I'm coming to help you, and I get to where you are and you have purchased parts that are cheap, crappy, no good, parts that won't last long enough for you to make it through the day, I'm not going to install them. I'm just not going to do it. It violates my morals, whatever you want to call it. So it's the golden rule in my book. Prime example is parts to replace a timing belt on white block cars. 850s, S60s, cars that we consider white block. You guys heard me say the name white block 1,000 times. Typically Volvos built between 1991 and 2012. Okay, so here's my deal with timing belt parts. And this is basically applies to any job that has critical failure points, which means if this part fails, it will disable your car and you won't be able to drive it. If this part fails, it will cause you to destroy your engine. If this part fails, it will cause a massive leak and you won't be able to, something that's critical, and it will disable the vehicle. I don't want to install those parts on your vehicle and leave you vulnerable for that. So prime example is timing belt. It also applies to parts that take extensive times to install. Example, a cam seal job. Technical job takes 2 hours sometimes to do it. If it's a front cam seal, it could take 4 hours to replace that cam seal. So I'm not going to install aftermarket crappy seals, and then after I leave 2 or 3 months later, the leaks reappear. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to, or I don't want to install a cylinder head where the valve stem seals have been replaced with crappy valve stem seals that's likely going to be leaking in a year. What's the point of doing a $2,000 job and then a year later the job is need to be done again? So let's go back to timing belt job. I've seen it over and over again. Aftermarket water pumps. Most of your white block Volvos were designed, and the supplier to Volvo for those specific engines, 850s, S70s, V70s, many of them, is a company called Aisin. Aisin. They make water pumps. Here's a picture of one in the box right here. My experience is these water pumps in these specific engines, 850s, SV70s, those vehicles, those water pumps last at least 10 years. I've seen one that lasts about 110,000 miles and started leaking a little bit. Not sure why, but typically 10 years. I had one last 20 years, 258,000 miles before it started leaking, went to failure. If it fails totally, you have engine to rebuild. Anyway, I will not install an aftermarket water pump on your car if it's Aisin or something like that. The term OEM original equipment manufacturer is being exploited, and it's not what it used to be. So a prime example is you'll see a HEPU pump listed as an OEM part. Well, HEPU was an OEM manufacturer for the red block cars, but not the white block cars. So I'm a little ticky about that. If you have a question about that, let me know. I don't want to drive 8 hours to your location to find out you got parts that I'm not going to install, and we have a detrimental decision to make. That decision being, am I going to replace these parts for you or not? Unfortunately, probably not. I'll take that hit. I have traveled before to 3-4 states over to help somebody do a PCV job. I told them before I got there, get this kit. It has Volvo parts in it. Volvo parts last 10, 15, 20 years. If you get this other company's kit from Amazon, eBay, Rock Auto, whatever, it will likely have parts in there that are aftermarket parts, and I've seen those parts fail in 8 months. I'm not going to install them. I travel 3-4 states over. Gosh, aftermarket parts. Now we got a decision to make. Do you want to order and get the right parts and unfortunately pay for my stay there until those parts arrive, 2-3 days? Or do you want to just shake hands, have lunch, send me on my way, and regret compensating me for travel or even helping me with travel, or just sticking me with the bill? Not fair to me after I've told you and warned you. Anyway, I will not install aftermarket water pumps on white block cars. If it's not an Aisin pump, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what someone else told you. Have them install it. That's just one of my quirks. I'm not going to do it. So when it comes to the timing belt on your Volvo 850 S70 white block engine, you need to get that Aisin water pump. You need to get these INA rollers. I don't know if you can see that. These rollers, tensioners, INA. If you want cam seals replaced, I strongly recommend you get Volvo cam seals. Those cam seals in my car lasted until I did the head. I had 363,000 miles on my car, never had a cam seal leak. I don't want to put a seal in there that 2 months later, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later is leaking. Then if the seal comes out, you're going to disable your car, run it out of oil, destroy the engine. Okay, so I just don't want to do that. So here's the deal. If you have concerns about the parts that you're about to order or have ordered, call me, text me. Let's get together, make sure you have the right parts so that I can do the job for you when I get there. My general rule of thumb is if it takes longer than 30 minutes to replace it, get the Volvo part. If it can be replaced 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, put any crap on there that you want. Prime example of problems I've had with aftermarket parts is people trying to save or just do their own thing with heater cores. I have gotten to people's location and they've had heater cores that didn't even have holes drilled in them to mount the screws. Not fair to me. Now I got to modify the part to get it to work, and then it's probably not going to last as long as the Swedish car part heater core that I beg people to get. Okay, so get the parts that I recommend. If you got questions, call me, text me. I will even set up a shopping cart for you to make sure that you have the parts that are acceptable to get your car fit. About the toughest part I've seen on these issues is the PCV kit for non-turbo 850s. Okay, so those parts, generally Volvo quit making a bunch of them, so you have to order a kit that's not a Volvo blue box wrapping, and this is what Volvo wrapping looks like. I have seen some of those parts in those kits deteriorate totally and leak within a year. So what you do is You order the kit, and for the parts that deteriorate, you can still order those little pieces from companies like FCP and get those little pieces in that will help prevent that system from deteriorating on you. I actually carry normally a few of those bits and pieces with me so that you're not left with a deteriorated system. But again, contact me. I'll help you order the right parts so that when I get to your location, I can do the work for you. Once again, the most common problem areas: timing belt parts, PCV parts. So contact me. We'll go over what you need to get the work done on your car. I'll help you, point you in a place to get the right parts. If you have a question, if it's a part that I may be concerned with, go to the video that shows how to do the job. Look in the comments section. The comment section tells you how long it should take someone to do that job, whether it's 30 minutes or 3 hours. The comment section will tell you. And again, I'm not going to install aftermarket water pumps. I have actually situations where people have replaced water pumps that has destroyed their engine in 6,000 miles. Good reputation company that were not Asian. So let's not go there. I don't want to get to your location and say, hey, sorry, I can't help you. Can you help me pay for my hotel bill? And it's only reasonable when I drove 4 hours to get there, got to drive 8 hours to get back home, and got a hotel night stay and other expenses as well, my travel, gas, food, stuff like that. So, hey, contact me if you got any questions about parts. If you need me to set up your shopping cart, I will. Let's get this thing handled for you, help you save money, and help you get the job done right. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.